Hello, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, whatever time it is, wherever in this world it is that you are. Welcome once more to another live stream of Alexandra Mayers live, page by page reading and commentary of the modern English version of the Bible. I hope everyone's having a really good start to their Thursday. Today is September 11th. And I slept really well last night, and I'll tell you why. I'm a little bit more remote at this moment than I was before. Okay, I'm still in the desert area of California. This is the last part of my journey, but it's not really close to being over yet. But still, I'm more remote than before. I'm going to have to figure out a way to live off grid basically full time because it's so much healthier for me. It just is. I am unfortunately one of those people who is highly affected by the various frequencies that electronics give off in cities. That is something that I have come to realize about myself. And for what I guess is going to be the second half of my life, I am not going to subject myself to a lot of the electronic frequencies, toxic, you know, magnetic waves, and all that kind of stuff that various power lines and whatnot give off because it does affect me. I sleep a billion times better when I'm far removed from industrial areas than when I'm close by. And it really scares me when it comes to the state of humanity when I really think about it, because we are encouraged to live close to cities where you have all this interference. It messes with your mind. I've realized that from being out here where I'm very removed from everything. So I guess that's going to be my goal for myself over the next couple of years. And you know what else? I think I want to do something to where I'm taking care of a lot of animals. I think so. I've been feeling the call to do that over the past few weeks. I'm going to wait. Like, I'm not making any major decisions right now, but I have a lot of nurturing energy and I need things to take care of. So I'm thinking, I don't want to be too intrusive in people's lives. So I will be intrusive in animals' lives. So that's something else that's on my mind. But yeah, I slept really well last night. Went on a hike yesterday. So I'm a little sore from that today, but after I finish this live stream, I'm going to take a long hot shower. And I had fun on the internet last night with some new friendly acquaintances that I have. And this morning, I just woke up pretty much with the sun, and I'm looking forward to doing all the things I need to do today. So anyway, let's go ahead and continue in the book of Ruth, which strangely only has 4 chapters. I'm surprised by this. I'm a little disappointed because chapter 1 I thought was a really unique story. For those who don't know, chapter 1 of the book of Ruth is about a woman who, unfortunately, her husband dies, her 2 sons die. She's left with her 2 daughters-in-laws, and she's kind of like feeling a little like she doesn't have a purpose in life. So she tells her daughters-in-laws, just go and remarry and let me just basically be miserable and die. So one daughter-in-law does go and move forward with her life, but the other one, Ruth, does not. She's like, look, mother-in-law, I am going to stay around and hang out with you. And the mother-in-law's name is Naomi. So Ruth and Naomi they're traveling, you know, they're best friends, they're having a great time. But now we're in the book of Ruth too. So let's see what happens. Ruth meets Boaz. Now, Naomi had a relative of her husband, a man of prominence and means from the clan of, I'm going to have a hard time saying this, Elimelech. His name was Boaz. Ruth of the Moabitess, Ruth the Moabitess said to Naomi, "Please let me go into the field and glean among the heads of grain behind anyone in whose eyes I may find favor." Naomi said to her, "Go, my daughter." So she went to glean in the field behind the harvesters. She happened to come to a part of the field belonging to Boaz, who was from the clan of Elimelech. Just then Boaz came from Bethlehem and said to the harvesters, "May the Lord be with you." And they said to him, "May the Lord bless you." And behold, Boaz said to his servant who was in charge of his harvesters, "Whose young woman is this?" So the servant who was in charge of his harvesters answered, "She is the young Moabitess woman who came back with Naomi from the land of Moab. She said, 'Please let me glean and gather grain among the bundles behind the harvesters.' So she came and has remained from the morning until now, though she rested a little while in the house." Then Boaz said to Ruth, "Listen, my daughter, do not go to glean in another field and leave this one. Stay close to my young women. Keep your eyes on the field in which they reap and follow after them. I have commanded the men not to touch you. When you are thirsty, go to the vessels and drink from what the young men have drawn." So she fell on her face, bowed to the ground, and said to him, "Why have I found favor in your eyes that you should acknowledge me, a foreigner?" But Boaz answered her, "I have been told all that you have done for your mother-in-law after the death of your husband, and how you left your father and mother and your homeland and came to a people you did not know before. May the Lord reward your deeds. May you have a full reward from the Lord, the God of Israel, under whose wings you have come to take refuge." Okay, so he was impressed by her because she did. I mean, in those days, to leave your family and everything you know for some other place that is going to be a complete surprise to you. I mean, it's not like she could preview where she was going on the internet back then. There was no internet. So, you know, she's strong. Then she said, "May I find favor in your eyes, my lord, for you have comforted me and have spoken kindly to your servant, though I am not like one of your servant girls." At mealtime, Boaz said to her, "Come over here and eat some bread and dip your piece in the vinegar." So she sat down behind the beside the harvesters, and he passed her some roasted grain. She ate and was full and had some left over. When she got up to glean, Boaz commanded his young men, "Let her glean even among the bundles, and do not harm her. Also, pull out some grain for her from the bundles. Leave it so she may glean it, and do not rebuke her." So she gleaned in the field until evening. Then she beat out what she had gleaned, and it was about an ephah of barley. She took it up and went into the city, and her mother-in-law saw what she had gleaned. She drew it out and gave her what she had left after she had been satisfied. Her mother-in-law said to her, "Where did you glean today, and where did you work? May he who took notice of you be blessed." So she told her mother-in-law with whom she had worked and said, "The name of the man who I worked today is Boaz." Then Naomi said to her daughter-in-law, "May he be blessed of the Lord, who has not withdrawn his kindness to the living and to the dead." Naomi said to her, "This man is a close relative of ours, one of our redeeming relatives." Okay. So Boaz knew of Naomi and he helped out Ruth. Then Ruth, the Moabitess, said, "He even told me, 'You should stay close to my servants until they have finished all my harvest.' Naomi said to Ruth, her daughter in law, 'It is better, my daughter, that you go with his young women, for it for in someone else's field you may be harmed.'" And that's true. So this guy was looking out for her because think about it. Ruth was foreign to these people. All the guys or men in the area would immediately be drawn to her because she's exotic to them. And some women would even be jealous of her and they'd be like, "Oh, I hope that she does get attacked," because that's how it can be sometimes. So, they're really looking out for Ruth between Naomi and Boaz. So that's cool. But Naomi and Boaz, it sounds like, are relatives. They're probably cousins. Naomi said to Ruth, her daughter in law, "It is better, my daughter, that you go with his young women, for in someone else's field you may be harmed." So she stayed close to the young women of Boaz to glean until the end of barley harvest and wheat harvest, and she lived with her mother in law. That's the end of chapter 2, Book of Ruth. That's all there is to it. But it's an interesting story. So far, I like the Book of Ruth a lot. I do. It's a story of a woman and her daughter in law and their adventures. So, anyway, let me get on in my life, my personal adventure. I'm going to jump in the shower, figure out what I want to wear today, and do what I need to do. Everyone, have a good one. Bye bye.